two title-winning franchises with history. And now there's hardware on the line for a new generation.
Well, look, you've earned this opportunity. Okay, you've earned it. Embrace it. It's about us. Okay, it's about our intentional focus. It's
to get the hardware and to get the money.
They're a resilient group, man. They're a resilient group. They battle for each other every day. Every single day we have a chance to choose we over me, and these guys do that.
For the 2025 Commissioner's Cup champion, the Indiana Fever.
Imagine this. No Caitlin Clark. No Dana Bonner. No Derica Hamby. Every analyst laughed off the Indiana Fever, penciling in a Minnesota Lynx victory. But what happened next stunned the WNBA world. How did a team down its stars manage to pull off the upset of the season? Stick around to see how the Fever shocked everyone with resilience, teamwork, and a whole lot of heart. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Imagine going into a game where nearly everyone counts you out before the first whistle. The Indiana Fever walked into that exact storm.
Our trust in one another, have each other's back, play with multiple levels of effort, discipline, energy, focus. Let's go!
Downtown Minneapolis, where tonight, for the first time in franchise history, the Indiana Fever are in the WNBA Commissioner's Cup championship game.
No Caitlin Clark, their leading scorer and emotional anchor, sidelined with injury. Dana Bonner, one of the team's most experienced defenders, gone. Derica Hamby, a player known for stabilizing the team in crunch time, unavailable. On top of it all, the Fever had just dropped 3 of their last 5 games, looking disconnected and disheartened. Expectations? A Lynx blowout. Many analysts didn't even bother entertaining the idea of an upset, calling the Lynx's game a lesson in offensive poetry. It's not like the criticisms were unfounded. The Fever had been struggling to find their rhythm without Clark, especially offensively. Aaliyah Boston, still brilliant in flashes, had been visibly frustrated with the lack of chemistry. There were moments of brilliance, sure, but hero ball crept into the team's identity.
Shot, no. Ball tapped around. Aaliyah gets it, finds Cunningham. Left corner 3. Oh, yeah! For the lead! It's a 14-0 Fever run.
Playing not only for yourself, but for the community. Obviously, there's a chance to win some extra cash with that. And so for us, it's about looking at how we match up against Minnesota. Obviously, Minnesota is a top team in this league.
Players took ill-advised shots, forcing plays like they were trying too hard to fill Clark's void. On defense, inconsistency ruled. An early rotation would lead to a big play, but the next possession, someone would miss an assignment entirely. It wasn't winning basketball, and honestly, it didn't give anyone much to believe in. Meanwhile, the Lynx had everything working in their favor. They were playing at home, where their crowd energy always seemed to give them an extra step. Napheesa Collier, their MVP frontrunner, was basically unstoppable as of late, averaging close to 25 points per game this season. Pair that with the Lynx's ball movement, their trademark, and most thought this would be a formality. The Fever had no chance, right? But something changed. Coach Stephanie White had a mantra echoing through the locker room. Pressure is a privilege. They didn't just say the words, they internalized them. The Fever didn't focus on role replacements or individual heroics. Instead, they returned to trusting their systems. They locked in on defense, rotating seamlessly, closing passing lanes, and sacrificing their bodies to draw charges.
Offensively, we're going to have to, make the right reads and be aggressive. Offensively, and yeah, it's just going to be a test for us. I think, we know that most of the pressure is on them. It's home court.
Collier kept the pivot out to Smith for 3. There's a spin move by Shepard, and she gets around Howard.
Offensively, it was about predictive movement, unselfishness and trusting that every player could deliver. This team, they didn't just survive the adversity, they found the identity they'd been searching for. But what really made this victory unforgettable? It wasn't just what happened on the court, it was what came after. You know what's crazier than the Fever pulling off this win without Caitlin Clark? The fact that Clark, sitting on the sidelines in street clothes, still managed to steal the spotlight after the final buzzer. Her absence was no small blow. Anyone who's followed the season knows she's the team's top scorer, their floor general, and basically the engine that powers everything. Yet, here she was, unable to step onto the court, actively coaching, hyping, and celebrating like she never left. And by the end of the night, she summed it all up with one sentence. Guys, I just know everybody in the league is sick.
Pass, Boston, left post, banks it in, and AB is fired up. Kelsey, she's a closer. Passes, Cunningham tees up a left side three, and connects! There's the horn. Final score, Fever 74, Lynx 59. And for the first time in franchise history,
those words hit harder than any game highlight. Think about it. Clark wasn't just hyping her team up. She was sending a direct message to everyone watching. Analysts, players, fans, everyone had been saying the same thing for weeks. The Fever without Clark weren't the same team. What this win said, and what Clark's comment underlined, is that this group didn't just rely on a star player. They just dismantled a stacked Lynx squad with teamwork and grit. And now, the league has to start imagining what this team could look like when Clark is back in action. Even during the celebration, Clark's presence was unmistakable. She didn't fade into the background. She took the Commissioner's Cup trophy and turned it into a literal prop, laughing with her teammates and including everyone, from vets like Aaliyah Boston to fresh faces like Michaela Timpson. It wasn't just a party. This was symbolic. She wasn't just supporting her team from the sidelines. She was showing what leadership looks like, injured or not. And the world noticed.
the Indiana Fever are WNBA Commissioner's Cup champions.
I'm just so proud of these guys. Fought, clawed, been fighting through adversity all season long. They certainly earned this, and I'm incredibly proud of them.
What?
ESPN, famously confident in pre-scripting their narratives, aired a headline they probably wish they had saved. Lynx dominate Fever to win Commissioner's Cup. That video? Reshelved. The storyline now isn't the Lynx. It's what happens next for the Fever. With Caitlin Clark coming back and a team full of confidence, the league might not just be sick, they might be scared. The Fever didn't just win a trophy, they shifted the entire narrative. This wasn't just about overcoming injuries or silencing doubters. It was proof that their depth and grit could carry them to victory under the toughest circumstances.
Even though we have our ups and downs, we stay together and we're gonna keep competing, we're gonna keep fighting.
MVP, Natasha Howard, congratulations. Everyone make some noise one more time.
People need to stop speaking on this girl though. Sit on everything though, for real. Underrated, all-star, nobody understands. We got some of the best pros in the league.
And with Caitlin Clark's return on the horizon, they've transformed into the team no one wants to see on the schedule. Her presence, combined with a lineup that now knows its full potential, takes their ceiling to a whole new level. What do you think? Is this just the beginning of a dominant era for the Fever? Let us know in the comments.